was Demolition Man? Is it a comedy? Is it an action film? Is it smart? Is it dumb? And most importantly, does it hold up? Honestly, with no joking whatsoever, this is actually far better now than it has ever been in the past. When it came out, the action cliches were pretty standard, so at the time it wasn't a big hit. But now, in 2015, these cliches have taken on an identity of their own. Silly, but kind of admirable. This works especially now because the future they create in this movie is almost kind of true of the world we created now. Our society, thanks to social media, is trying to be more about the group. Forums, fan pages, causes to get behind. Hell, if there's a hater online, everyone wants to join together to prove how wrong he is. Compare that to the 80s and 90s where everything was about the individual. Wall Street, make money for your own, action films, mano y mano, emotions are for the weak. But the great thing about it is neither side is the villain in this. They're just products of their environment. The future has less choice, but they've also obliterated murder for 16 years. The past is anarchy and violence, but they also have more rights and choices. They both have their pros and cons. I know I joke about the future being a commentary of online culture, but without even realizing it, that's kind of what they did. The internet is filled with people who are overly sensitive and can't take a joke, but it's also filled with attention-hungry idiots who only want to anger and antagonize those people. But again, no one side is the bad guy, they both have villains. They're the extremists who want everything one way. Whether it's absolute perfection or absolute anarchy, both result in taking away diversity and free will. While the heroes are the ones willing to make a compromise. Stallone has trouble fitting in, but he doesn't say his world was completely right. Eventually, both sides realize that the two have to find some middle ground in order to keep balance. It's a commentary that wouldn't work as well back then, but works much better now comparing our new world to the world of the past. Our current attitude to the attitude of the 90s. Now don't get me wrong, some things don't work especially well, like the action's not really that strong, and some of the cliches might be a little too stupid for their own good. But the writing, the ideas, the commentary, and yes, even the acting, which is honestly pitch perfect from every performer, makes it stand out. I know it sounds crazy, but Demolition Man has actually gotten a lot better with time. Part of that being because they intentionally date the hero and villain by putting them in the future. Dating it surprisingly made it timeless. It just knew which areas to update and which areas to leave alone. I'm totally serious when I say this dumb, cliched, overblown action film is actually one of the smarter summer movies to come out of the past few decades.